بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Good morning to all students of class 7th. We are here with the new chapter, chapter number 9, respiration in organism. You know very well that all the organisms need energy. They need energy to do all the work which we are doing in our daily life. For example, if we talk about the human being and animal, they need energy to walk, they need energy to do different physical work, and even if I am blinking my eyes need energy to blink. For each and every task, for each and every work which we are doing physically, or the different organs are working in our body, they need energy. Because this energy keeps us alive. This energy keeps all the cells alive. Because we know that all the human beings, all the animals, all the plants, their bodies are made up of different cells. And these cells need energy to do work. And this energy, you know from where we are getting this energy. This energy we get from food. This food is actually a fuel for our body. As fuel runs different vehicles, different engines, different cars, likewise food runs our body because food is the source through which we are getting energy. And how this food provides us energy. The process of respiration is directly related to the digestion because the food which we are taking in, that is of different types, and we are getting food in the hard form, sometime in the liquid, and this food cannot reach directly to the cells because cells are very minute particles which are present in our body and we cannot see with the naked eye. So how these bigger particle of the food reaches to the cells? When the food is digested, it mixes up into the blood and this blood goes to the cells. Now the food is broken down and has changed its shape, that it is changes into liquid form, and this food is changes into smaller component, like sugar is a complex particle. Even sugar cannot reach to the cells. It is broken down into glucose, which is the smaller unit. Glucose is the smaller unit. When this is broken down into glucose, this glucose reaches to the cells, and now this is the part of the food. This is the part of the digestive system. Now respiration. Oxygen, when we inhale, the oxygen goes into our nostrils and from there it goes into lungs. Now this oxygen, when the blood comes to the lungs, this oxygen mixes up into the blood. Now the blood carry two things, glucose and oxygen. These two things can easily absorbed by the cells of the body. Now when the glucose and oxygen reaches to the cells, inside the cell, they combine with each other. They combine with each other and they produce energy. They produce energy. This combination and the production of energy, the release of energy, this is actually called respiration. So respiration, what is the respiration? The release of energy from the glucose and oxygen inside the cell is called respiration. So this is the difference between the respiration and breathing. Breathing is simply intake of oxygen and exhale of carbon dioxide. This is called breathing. But when this oxygen reaches to the cell, combine with the glucose and release energy, this is called respiration. So this is the difference between breathing and respiration. And breathing is important part because breathing provide the cells oxygen as well as glucose as well as energy, because energy is produced inside the cell, released by the glucose when it combines with the oxygen. See, this is the equation. This is glucose. The formula of the glucose is C6H12O6, means 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen and 6 atoms of oxygen. This is the formula of glucose. This glucose, when combines with the oxygen, this is also called oxidation. The combining of oxygen with the glucose, it's also called oxidation, and as a result of this oxidation, the carbon dioxide, water and energy is released. So this is the whole process of respiration. This is the process of respiration in which oxygen is involved. Here oxygen is involved. When oxygen combined with the glucose, then they release energy. This is called respiration. So this is the chemical equation by which we can represent. This is a process of representing this process by the chemical equation. So what is produced? Carbon dioxide is produced, water is produced and energy is produced. This carbon dioxide goes back into the blood, and this blood goes into the lungs, and from the lungs the carbon dioxide is exhaled out. So when we inhale, oxygen goes into lungs, mixes, produce energy and release carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide come back into the lungs, and from the lungs it releases into the environment. So this is the whole process of respiration. And as a result of respiration, carbon dioxide and water and energy is produced. This energy is utilized by the cell as well, because different functions of the cell, they need energy, and also it is stored into our different parts, and when we need energy and we use this energy, and for all the functions of the body, for all the physical working and for all the function of different organs, this energy which is produced as a result of respiration, this is utilized. And this water is necessary for all the biochemical reactions, because without the presence of water, the reactions cannot take place. So it maintains the level of the water in our body, and also it is used for different purposes. Now let's see that breathing, how this is involved, respiration and breathing. There are different ways, like amoeba is a microorganism. This amoeba breathe through its body surface, the whole body surface. By the whole body surface it breathe. Fish breathe through the gills. Gills are present very near with the eyes, and these gills are opens and closes when the fish breathe. The earthworm and leeches. Earthworm and leeches is another example which is given in your book, and they have the moist and slimy skin, and they breathe through this moist and slimy skin. Frogs breathe through the skin, and frog has all the three types of breathing, because they breathe through the skin, they breathe through the gills when they are not adult. When the frogs are born, they are not adult. They have gills at that time and they breathe through gills. But when they become adult, they acquire all the lungs system. is produced or completed, and when they become adult, they breathe through lungs as well, and they can breathe through the skin. Okay, so frogs have all these three types of breathing. Insects, they their body have the tubes, air tubes, and these air tubes are called trachea, and through these trachea they breathe. And reptiles they reptiles birds and mammals reptiles birds and mammals, they breathe through the lungs, and we human beings are also come into the family of mammals, so we breathe through lungs. And plants, they breathe through stomata. Stomata are the small pores which are present at the under surface of the leaves, and plants breathe through stomata. Actually, what is breathing? The exchange of gases. Exchange of gases is called breathing. So, plants need carbon dioxide for the production of the food, and as a result of the production of the food, oxygen is produced. This oxygen is released into the environment. So we are releasing carbon dioxide, which is necessary for the plants, and plants are releasing oxygen, which is necessary for the other living animals. So these are different examples which are given in your books. And inspiration or expiration. Inspiration is when we are going to take in the oxygen, and expiration when we are exhaling carbon dioxide. So the process of intaking and exhaling, this is called inspiration and expiration. And the number of the times a person breathes in 1 minute is called breathing rate. What is breathing rate? The number of time means in 1 minute how many times we breathe. This is called breathing rate. On an average, uh, adult human being at rest, when we are not doing physical work, when we are not doing exercise, when we are not running, when we are not doing physical work, we are at rest. So the breathing rate is 15 to 18 times a minute. Means in 1 minute we breathe 15 to 18 times. But when we are running, when we are doing exercise, this rate increases. And this is very good for our health, because when we exercise, the rate becomes 25 times per minute. 25 times per minute, because we are doing physical work and we need more energy. For this more energy, we are breathing more, because when we are breathing more oxygen is going inside the body, and it is combining with the glucose and releasing energy, and this energy is utilized by our body while we are working or running or exercising. So it is necessary. It is very necessary, and this is the reason that exercise is always good for the healthy body. Next is respiration. This is the breathing. Now respiration. Respiration I have explained you very well. This whole process is called respiration. Let's read from your book. The process that involves intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide and energy from the food is called respiration. Intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide and energy. This is called respiration. Okay. Respiration also called cellular respiration. Cellular respiration, the respiration inside the cells. Cellular respiration, internal respiration, or tissue respiration. Sometimes this respiration takes place in the tissues. This happens when we are doing very hard work, overwork. So then it happens in the tissues. Respiration is the process in which food is broken down in the body cells through various chemical reactions. in the presence of oxygen to give out carbon dioxide along with water and energy. This whole process I have explained you right now. Okay, when glucose go inside the cell with the oxygen, they combine and a chemical reaction takes place. As a result of chemical reaction, carbon dioxide, water and energy is released. So this is called respiration. A sugar called glucose is the main source of energy. It is formed by the digestion of the starch present in food. The process of respiration is common to all the living organisms, both plants and animals. Respiration takes place in plants as well as animals because it is very necessary process and it keeps us alive. It consists of three phases. First is diffusion of oxygen into the cells. When the oxygen diffuses into the cell, when oxygen reaches to the cell, when oxygen enter into the cell, this is called diffusion of the diffusion into the cells. Then oxidation of the food. Oxidation is a process of combining oxygen with the glucose. Okay, oxidation of the food in the cell to produce carbon dioxide and water, to produce carbon dioxide and water from the cells and eliminate carbon dioxide and also release energy. So this is called respiration. An interesting observation made for the process of respiration is that it seems quite similar to the process of burning or combustion. This is because of the fact that during respiration food is oxidized or burnt as a fuel to produce energy. Because when fuel burns, they release energy. Likewise, when the food is oxidized with the oxygen, glucose is oxidized with the oxygen, it releases energy. Like the fuels. When the fuel burns, they release energy, and when the food particles combine with oxygen, it also releases energy. So, respiration. There are two types of respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration, when the oxygen is necessary, in presence of oxygen, the process which takes place in presence of oxygen, this is called aerobic respiration. And sometime in animals, anaerobic respiration takes place when there is no availability of oxygen. So in the absence of oxygen, when the energy is released, this is called anaerobic respiration. So first of all, we will see aerobic respiration from the book. Aerobic respiration. This is the complete process of aerobic respiration because oxygen is present. So the simple respiration is called aerobic respiration where oxygen is involved. Let's see. The word aerobic means the oxygen is needed for the chemical reaction. In this process, the food molecules are combined with oxygen and get oxidized inside the cell. Aerobic respiration takes place inside the cells. These food molecules are then broken down into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. This process I have explained you already. All the food molecules contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atom. This process of oxidation converts carbon to the carbon dioxide and the hydrogen to the water. At the same time, this process sets free energy which the cell can use to drive other reaction. This energy which is released during the aerobic respiration, this energy is utilized by the cell because cell is performing a lot of function. As our body is performing all the function, the same functions are performing individually by the cells. So this energy is used for these purposes, for these functions, as well as this energy is provided by the cells to all other organs of the body. So this is the equation of the aerobic respiration. And although energy thus produced is used for a variety of processes. Some of it always appears as heat. In warm-blooded animals, birds and mammals, some of the heat released is retained to maintain their body temperature. This energy is produced in the form of heat, and you have observed that after taking the meal, our body becomes warm. This is actually that the process starts, and this glucose is broken down, this glucose is combining with the oxygen and releasing energy in the form of heat. This is the reason that our body becomes warmer. And when we do exercise, our body becomes warm, because then we are taking more oxygen, and more oxygen is combining with the glucose and more energy is released. This is the reason that our body becomes warm during the running or exercising or different physical work. So, in cold-blooded animals, reptiles and fish, the heat may build up for a time and allow the animal to move about faster. In plants, the heat is lost to the surrounding as fast it is produced. In plants, this heat is released from the plants into the environment. And now, anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is a respiration or release of energy in absence of oxygen. This is called anaerobic respiration. The word anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen, and aerobic means in presence of oxygen. In this process, energy is released from the food by breaking it down chemically. By the reaction, do not use the oxygen through, though they often produce carbon dioxide. They are producing carbon dioxide, but oxygen is not used. So, for this is the chemical reaction of anaerobic respiration. Here, this is the formula of glucose. This is the formula of glucose. This glucose is broken down and it is producing ethyl alcohol in the process of fermentation. In the process of fermentation, it is producing ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide and energy. Here, oxygen is not involved, oxygen is not present, but in spite of absence of oxygen, it is releasing carbon dioxide as well as energy. So, this is a process of anaerobic respiration. Let's see, a common example of anaerobic respiration is the action of yeast on sugar solution. Action of yeast in sugar solution. Sugar is not completely oxidized to carbon dioxide and water, but converted to carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol. This process is called fermentation, and as a result of fermentation, ethyl alcohol is produced. It is shown in the equation. This is the equation of the fermentation. And as a result of fermentation, carbon dioxide is produced as well as energy is released. The process of brewing means to make the fermented alcoholic beverages, and bread making. In the process of bread making, rely on anaerobic respiration by yeast. So, anaerobic respiration is the process of the making energy and carbon dioxide without the oxygen. Anaerobic respiration takes place in small steps and needs several different enzymes. Enzymes, what are enzymes? Enzymes are the catalyst which enhance the process, which enhance any process. It speed up the process, so they work as catalyst. The energy produced by anaerobic respiration is much less than that produced through the aerobic respiration. Besides yeast, certain types of bacteria and some body tissues also respire anaerobically. Sometimes the bacteria, they respire anaerobically, and sometimes our tissues also work and respire anaerobically. So this was the topic which shows us the types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Now come towards the homework. Open your books at page number 87. Open your books at page number 87, assessment 2. Page number 87, assessment 2, A part. Answer the following question in one or two sentences. You will write the answer only in one or two sentences. First question is, what is respiration? You know very well what is respiration. You will see the definition or from the book, and you will write. What do you mean by the term breathing? I have explained you what is the difference between breathing and respiration. Here you will only write the what is breathing. And question number 3, how can you differ between inhalation and exhalation? So you will write the answers. If you are not getting answer, listen the video again and you will find the answer. So these 3 questions you will do as a homework, but before starting the work, you will make a title page of chapter number 9, respiration in organism. Beautiful. After making the beautiful title page, then you will start the working. So do very neat and clean homework and take care. Allah Hafiz till the next class.